Alright guys, new factory IO scene. This one's the sorting station. I've tried this previously with CA Portal and now I'm trying with Studio 5000. So if we go here to File and then Drivers, you can see that I'm using the Allen Bradley Logix 5000. As soon as I choose that out of the list of different PLCs that I can use, then all of my inputs and my outputs come in. Watch with this one, the vision sensor always seems to not, like it seems to be kicked out. So I'm going to bring the vision sensor back in. You can look at my configuration here. If you're in my class, we're doing 192.168.1.10 as usual. We're not going to do auto connect because I find that every time that I download to my Allen Bradley PLC, I have to disconnect and reconnect. So let's just make sure that everything's cool. Looks good. This is good. And everything's coming in for all of my inputs here. Beautiful. Let's go back to here. And we're going to hit the start push button here, guys. And we're going to see that there's different parts that come along here. Let's just hit the start push button. There we go. So different parts that are coming along. The vision sensor is seeing it and then bring it to one of the three different chutes. So we've got bases going here. Blue parts are going to go down here. Right on. So this should go here. Beautiful. And then these green portions, whether it's the bottom or the top unit, will go all the way to the end and then cycle down that chute there. Beautiful. Nice. And you can see that I'm not like tossing parts anywhere. And it seems to be working perfectly. Like I've left this for like 20-25 minutes and she was still working nicely. Okay, so the way that I'm making this work, guys, I'm going to do another video following this on like exactly how to do this from start to finish. But the way that I'm doing this is I'm making use of a bit shift left. So in the previous video, we looked at the bit shift left, right? We looked at everything to do with that unit. Then we looked at an example program, and now we're going to make use of it on this conveyor here. So I have my system run working. And then for each of the different components, I've got an equals. Either if it's 1 or 4, it's going to be a base. So that's coming from my vision sensor here. If we scroll down, if it's a 2 or 3, it'll be a blue component. And if it's 5 or 6, then it'll be a green component. Okay, each of those guys has a separate tag here. And so you've got, for each of them, I've got like the base here, and then the base is then sending the signal into my source BSL for this bit shift array. So I have 3 bit shift arrays, this guy for the second chute, and this bad boy right here. And what we're doing is we're kind of tracking the ones that go across on the bit shift left instruction. And then once it gets to a certain position, then we're turning on the outputs there. Okay, you can see here that I'm latching and unlatching another set of tags here. So I've got sorter 1, sorter 2, and sorter 3. These aren't my outputs though. I have these guys in a subroutine. If we take a look at my entire program here, so I'm going to controller organizer. And then I've got inputs and outputs in my main routine. Main routine is just simply doing a jump to subroutine for inputs and then outputs. What we were looking at earlier was the inputs, and here are my outputs, guys. Okay, so you can see here that sysrun is turning on my start push button. If it's not running, then my stop push button is on. And then once the sysrun is running, then I've got the entry and the exit conveyor turning on there. Okay, then we've got the outputs here, so sorter 1 turn, so that's that moving to the side there, and then the belt is moving to push each of those units there. Well, this will be interesting. We've got 5 different green components coming through. I'll tell you, the green components were the ones that gave me the biggest headache in getting this to work, because it would miss them every once in a while, and then if I had a green and a blue component, then this one was shooting the blue component off into space there. Okay, so I have the sorter 2 turn. So when this one turns, then it moves this unit in, and then the belt moves to push it down the chute there. And then obviously sorter 3 there. Okay, going back to the inputs here. Aside from that, I've got, at the top of my program, I've got my first scan or reset push button, and that's moving an array. We saw this in the previous video, an array of all zeros into either bit shift array 1, 2, or 3. And you see that for 3, I had to actually use 2 dints there just to get enough length in the bit shift left instruction to catch this green component going to the back there. If we look at our program parameters and local tags, and then look at individual bit shifts, so this is bit shift array 1, This is for the first component coming through. So that one right there, you can see the ones coming through. And then once it gets to a certain point, then it turns on my outputs here. If I take a look at my second bit shift array, this is for the blue components here. You can see that for these guys, I have ones coming in. So when this component comes through, you'll see ones being developed here. And once they get to a certain bit here on my array, then I'm turning on my outputs here. So again, coming to here, ones coming through, and then turning on my output. And then I got a final bit shift array. This one has 2 dints here. Most of the time, the ones will come through just on this one. So a green component, and we can see the ones coming through. And then once it gets to a certain point, then I'm turning on my outputs there. Okay, going back to my inputs, those key points are being seen right here. So I'm turning on bit shift array 1 at dot 3, and then unlatching at dot 10. Okay, for bit shift array 2, I'm turning it on at 14 and then turning it off at 18. So it just briefly has to be turned on to push the unit down the chute. And then for bit shift array, I've got it turning on at 22 and then actually turning off in the second dint there. I just didn't have enough time in the first array with the 32 bits in order to get enough time for it to push the green component down there. So I added another dint to my bit shift array 3 there. Okay, so you can see here that at bit shift array 3.22, that's when it's latching on the third sorter. So let's go over to that guy, and you can see that component's coming through, and then at 22, then it's actually turning on the output. Let me see if I can snap this to the side here, guys. Cool, so we're looking right here at this bit right here for the green component, and as those ones come through, when it gets to 22, then it latches and then unlatches in the second bit shift array there. Okay, for bit shift array 2, it's going to latch at dot 14. So let's look at bit shift array 2. So that one latches right here at bit 14. So this blue component is coming through, and at 14 it latches on and then unlatches at 18. So again, blue component coming through, ones are coming through, gets to 14, latches on, and then unlatches. Beautiful. If you're interested in walking through this program with me from start to finish and how to build it up, then keep going in the playlist. And the next video will start us from start to finish on everything that we need to do to get this program working. I'm working on a course here, guys, on the Studio 5000. This one is section 24 for the sorter project. So for this guy, once the course is done, you'll have an online PDF that you can look at. It's going to walk you through every different step on this particular project in Factory.io, from setting up your I/O to setting up your subroutines, and then ultimately setting up your inputs and outputs, arrays, and keeping track of the ones coming through in order to turn on all of our outputs there. So follow along in the next video, guys, and I will make sure to walk you through on step-by-step on how to create this exact program. All right, guys, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.